honestly, ang dami ko talagang fantasy sa life, no? Pero, so my yearbook said, yung prep yearbook ko, I want to be an artist. So, meron akong multiple dreams. So, I want to be an artist. I don't know what that meant. But also, I wanted to be a beauty queen, of course.
Oh
like, big dream. I would watch it every year. And then, eventually, over the years, when I was much younger, creative freedom. that was the dream. Like, I always said it, creative freedom. Pag ako talaga nagka-creative freedom, that was it. So, yeah, yun ang mga pangarap ko.
In fairness, marami namang na-check na dun, no?
And then, talagang with creativity ang atake ni Miss Ayin simula prep. Prep.
Pero bakit mahiningi ang creative freedom? Did you not have that?
Oh, because my first job, I worked at an agency and I was a copywriter.
Okay.
And when you write for other brands, other people, syempre wala naman akong say kung ano yung final output kasi i-approve ng kung sino man ng boss ko, ganyan. And then I would even write speeches for my boss. So I would ghostwrite yung mga speeches niya sa mga conference, ganyan. And I was like, I can do this for myself. Bakit hindi? Parang I want that freedom na, you know, when I work on something, it's by Ayin Bernos. Like, I want to see my name attached to my work. So, yun talaga ang ultimate dream before.
Wow. So, what was that decision, no, that you made na parang, okay, ilalabas na natin yung pangalan ko out there. She ain't gonna be a ghostwriter anymore.
By Ayin Bernos, yes.
What was that first decision then?
Nakakatawa because I remember the first time I had to publicly own my creative work. Kasi I had a poetry page on Facebook.
Okay.
And it was anonymous. Parang I went by the pseudonym With Love Maria. Ganyan.
With Love Maria.
And then, so it got some followers. Konti lang, like mga 1,000, ganyan. But then I would post my poems.
I love it!
And then, eventually, blogging was a thing, right? I was like, may 1,000 followers na siya, might as well. Like, what if this was Ayin Bernos? Yeah, maybe I can soft launch it. Na parang, you know, I'm also, hello, it's me. Hindi ko alam na sa Facebook pala, if you change the name of your Facebook page, it alerts all of your followers.
Yes.
So, aware na sila.
So, parang,
okay.
in-out ko sarili ko.
It was a hard
it was
launch.
a hard launch na, okay, With Love Maria changed her name to Ayin Bernos. Parang,
okay.
yeah, but I have to
Share.
own it now na, okay, I create stuff, I share stuff, that's it. So, parang yun yung pinaka-first introduction ko na, fine.
Inown na niya.
Ito na.
Oh my gosh.
How was that like? Meron ka bang ano nun, Miss Ayin? Kasi diba from agency, and we all know kapag nakapagtrabaho kayo sa agency, medyo talagang puksaan siya ng brains.
Oh, yeah.
And then, from eto na, ilalabas na si Ayin, meron bang naging shift na like, oh my God, I feel so empowered. Moment ko to. May ganun ba? Or mas kinabahan ka ba?
Actually, sobrang slow nung transition ko. Kasi I didn't quit talaga like a full-time job until like 5 years after I started vlogging. Parang I started my YouTube channel. Nasa agency pa ako. So I was a copywriter.
Okay.
And then I was doing this on the side. Like always. After my 9 to 5, pag uwi ko, I'll film and then I'll edit and then I'll upload and then I'll do it again.
Yes.
And then wala siyang exact turning point, but I wanted to craft a life where it's possible for me to have creative freedom. So parang I inched my way towards that. So which is why, Joel, you said kanina na I went to Spain.
Yeah.
The reason why I went to Spain was I found a job that was 16 hours a week lang. Kasi syempre, yung day job ko, 40 hours plus overtime. Parang paano pa ako mag-vlog nun?
Yeah.
So when I found out na merong job as an English teacher in Spain, tas 16 hours a week lang. Oh my gosh. Fantasy talaga. Like, pwedeng-pwede to for me na, okay, I'll work 16 hours a week. I'll live in Madrid. Like, ano yung fantasy na to? And then, mag-vlog ako. So, my plan was, okay, if I can't sustainably create content with this 9 to 5, I'll find another 9 to 5 that's maybe
less
shorter than a 9 to 5, then I'll go do that. So, nag-apply ako sa job na to. And then yun, I moved to Spain for 1 school year. And then, todo vlog ako nun. As in like,
Oh my
vlog
gosh.
every day,
She finally
ganyan.
had
A day in my
time.
life, ganyan.
Okay.
So yun. And then, umuwi ako eventually kasi na-realize ko, parang wala akong progression here. Hindi ko rin makaka-work yung brands from Spain. It was hard. So I was like, okay, yung inipon ko sa Spain, I wanted to start yung t-shirt printing business ko. So that's why I had Morena the
Eto na
label.
siya.
Eto
ganon.
na
So
si Morena.
parang it was like decisions na I never really fully, okay, I'm gonna quit everything and just do content. It was never like that. It was always like, what can I do so I can build my content on the side?
Yun yung parang sinet. It was
Yes.
slow and intentional din. Kahit di mo pinano, parang the goal was still there. And like lahat ng mga decisions mo papunta doon.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Morena the label.
Eto
So
na
that was
siya.
your, like, that was the main project na pag-uwi mo dito, right?
Yes.
How was that? And like, let's talk expensive lessons from that.
Yes.
Pinag-ipunan mo,
Yes.
which is great. We love someone planning. But this is like your first like major,
Yeah.
but it's a big
First business venture,
Yeah.
madam, di ba?
Yeah.
Si Morena. So,
Mm.
meron ka bang mga fears noon?
How was that?
Or
I guess-
like, parang hindi mo in-expect na, ay, ganito pala mga gastos pag nag-open ng business.
Pero mahirap kasi yun. Well, number one, nasaktuhan ako shortly after launching. Biglang nag-pandemic, nag-lockdown. So, hindi
Ang
naman
timing.
di ba? Ang ganda. Hindi naman kasi essential
Shocks.
goods,
Okay.
di ba?
Mhm.
Like, they were very strict on like what goes out, ganyan. So, hindi naman food. So, it was
Mhm.
hard kasi hindi siya essential. So, medyo mahirap the first few months to get products out. But then, at the same time, bumili ako ng machine, ng printing machine. So I got a heat press machine. I got stocks ng t-shirts. So meron talaga akong nilabas na capital, which was like expensive. And I put it sa likod ng bahay ng parents ko. As in, meron kaming part doon na binubungan namin. Para, kasi it can't be indoors na na parang mainit kasi yung machine eh. So I have to have it somewhere na may hangin, ganyan. So originally, it was placed sa likod ng bahay ng parents ko. And then I would do everything there. From like taking photos. Yeah, ako magpiprint ng mga t-shirts.
Oh my gosh, you're print from everything.
Yeah, so all of the shirts, especially like the first few batches, ako yung nag-heat press noon, ganon.
She knows everything from the start, from
She is the
purchasing.
boss.
She did a one-woman team talaga.
But that was so scary because the quality had to be, ako, like, girl, ano bang alam ko sa pag-heat press, di ba? Like, parang, aalamin ko pa yung temperature. Like, parang, okay, ilang temperature naman? 180 degrees Celsius. Ewan ko, hindi ko na maalala. So, it was like, it was scary talaga for me because hindi ko na-realize how hard these things are. Because you think, diba, like, what? You get the t-shirt printed and then you sell it. That's it. But then, when I wanted to cut costs from, di ba, if pinaprint ko sa ibang supplier, syempre mas mahal yun. Sabi ko, okay, if I print my own, mas mura siya. But girl,
but the stress.
The price was stress.
Yes, the
Your
stress.
time.
Yeah, it was very stressful. And then syempre, if magkamali ako as a human, di ba, parang syempre,
sa'yo ang sisi.
Siyempre, babalik ko yun. Like, I'll reprint the shirt. I'll send it back. Lugi pa ako. So, may mga ganong moments na, ano ba talaga ang kinikita dito?
Okay. The expensive lesson.
Yeah, it was
pero sa
very
mga umpisa
expensive.
to, of course, Miss Ayin, di ba? Kasi syempre, eventually naman, things would be better, matututunan mo. So, you would say na ang pinakamahal bang lesson na to sa Morena is the machine, tas nag-pandemic, or meron pang iba?
I guess it's thinking I could do it all by myself.
Okay.
Kasi dapat, I feel like if I were to do it again, inuna ko yung hiring. Kasi eventually, I hired an assistant to help me with the printing. But that was eventually. And part-time pa lang, like every Friday, Saturday lang, ganyan. Hindi ko pa kasi syempre afford ng full-time employee. So, parang, ang hirap. So, I feel like, if I were to do it again, dapat alamin ko na ano ba talaga yung talent ko. It was not t-shirt printing.
Okay.
Like, I would I would have budgeted na meron akong person na talagang dedicated to just printing, and then I can do the stuff that I'm actually good at. Like maybe I could do the content, the marketing. Pero yung, oh my gosh, yung nag-hit press ako araw-araw. Parang, girl, paano ko na-scale to? Ako lang din yung nagpiprint, diba? So, ang nakakatawa pa dun, if I get a lot of orders, dapat masaya ako.
Yes.
But at the same time, oh my God,
dami
pa ba? Kailangan ma-fulfill ka. Ang dami talaga. So, it's like, when you grow, like, it's even harder. So, diba? But you want to grow. So, how is it going to be sustainable? And that was like the hard lesson for me. Na-realize ko, maybe it's not here. Maybe my future, my career is not here.
If this episode made you reflect on your own life decisions, then maybe it's time to ask yourself the same question. Yung mga choices mo, career moves, love life, big risks, or even those random impulsive decisions, worth it ba talaga? If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to search and follow Worth It Ba on YouTube for the full episode. And if you have your own Worth It Ba moment, share it with us in the comments. Because at the end of the day, every choice comes with a story.